Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO, and we are very lucky to have a special guest on the show right now. Paige, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well today. How are you?
All right, I'm doing great as well. Thank you for asking and for giving us your time. We know you're very, very busy. So,
Thanks for having me.
for the benefit of everyone who's listening and watching, can you tell us something about yourself? What is your role in real estate?
So I own a team here at Keller Williams. We've got a smaller team. We've got probably about $30 million in production, and we're here in Central Florida, just east of Disney World, on the coast where all the rockets go up.
It must be very exciting then for you, of course, seeing rockets and, of course, very near to Disney World.
I was there. I spent the weekend there. It was very nice.
Wow. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in the real estate industry?
So I've been a licensed real estate agent for 6 years.
6 years now. And before you had your own cyberbacker working with you in your business, was this your first time working with someone virtually?
It is, absolutely.
Tell me, what has the experience been so far working with your own cyberbacker?
So I could say at first there is a bit of a learning curve on how to best utilize that resource. So I would say probably about 3 months in, things started to gel a little bit better for me. I think the cyberbacker, because she's so used to doing this particular role, for her it's a smooth transition. She's doing the things she's good at. For us, it's how do I use this resource? So for a little while, it was just me trying to figure out, and it's an ever evolving process.
Of course, trying to get used to working with each other. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's also a new position on the team. We didn't have an ISA before.
Mm-hmm.
So this was also a learning process for me as a team leader on how to best utilize an ISA.
Of course, of course. Now let me ask you, your cyberbacker, 𝗙𝗰𝗋.
Yep.
Can you tell me something about her personality-wise, the days you spend working with each other, things like that?
So Shira's upbeat. She's become really a daily member of the team. We talk every day in the morning. We have a morning stand-up meeting. She zooms in for it, and we get to talk to her each day about what's important to her for the day, what she needs to get done. We have a series of questions we ask every team member in that morning meeting. So she participates in that 4 days a week, and then we have a bigger team meeting once a week that she participates in. So we've actually gotten to know her quite well personally. I know that she's in Cebu, and I know she loves diving.
That's good. You really gave the time, of course, to get to know your cyberbacker as well. Since this is your first time working with someone virtually, what we'd like to know is what makes it work? What makes it a successful partnership, Paige?
I think there's a couple of different layers to that. One is that she's very good at her job. Telephone weighs about 1,000 pounds to the average agent. So having somebody out there who can take that weight off my shoulders and give me some leverage is an amazing benefit. The bigger kind of unknown benefit that I was going to have is Shira and I get the chance to actually work one-on-one quite often, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we're working on the same project or the same calls, but we'll get each other on the in face-to-face virtually, and then she will basically keep me accountable to my lead generation. So I'll do my lead generation while she's doing hers. It's tough a lot of times when you're running a team to maintain that time schedule to get in your lead gen time, because things are constantly popping up, interruptions, whatever. But when I've got time with her, it genuinely makes me a little bit, well, not a little, much more efficient, and it's time well spent. So it's layered. So I'm not just getting the original intended ISA role. I'm really getting an accountability partner.
There, I love what you said, an accountability partner. Now, ever since she's worked with you, how much additional revenue has she made you in your business?
So that's a difficult. I know you were going to ask that question. It's a difficult thing to quantify because there are specific transactions that we can directly attribute to 𝗙𝗲. So there is that amount. But the fact that she keeps me accountable to my lead generation so that I'm reaching out to my sphere, so that increases the amount of revenue that the team is making. I can tell you that our team this year, 𝗙𝗲 joined us in December of last year. Our team went through a big transition. We lost a couple buyer's agents. We hired 2 new buyer's agents. We did a number of months without that. And right now we are just passing the closed number of transactions that we had last year. So we've still got roughly 2 months to go. So 2 months and 10 days left in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so our production has risen. And I can say during that shaky transition period in the beginning of the year, when we really didn't have what I stepped back in the role of buyer's agent for a while, having, all the team members, 𝗙𝗲 included, kept everything firing on all cylinders. So she was an integral role in keeping the team continuity going when we were going through some transitional pieces with other members of the team.
Wow. But how about the time factor? How much time has she saved you ever since she started?
Oh, well, I mean, there's no real way to quantify that either, because she's been able to take on projects that I wouldn't have been able to do. So our geo farming is something that we never really did efficiently before, and she's able to do that completely for me. So, when we've got, say, cash buyers in certain neighborhoods, she's able to go out and reach out to people directly and set appointments for me so that I can go over and try to get listing appointments so that we can make these cash buyers get them direct connections with sellers. So, I mean, that's just one example of the many things that she does, both in geo farming or following up from things that we have, closed business that we have.
So geo farming, setting up appointments, following up, those are some of the things that she's currently doing. But what we'd like to know is, what are some of the new tasks that you're considering having her do in the future? Because, of course, you and I can both agree on this. Her role could still grow within the next few months and the years to come, right?
I expect it to. 𝗙𝗲 is really someone who's willing to step up and take on new challenges, which is great because it provides leverage for me. Because a lot of the time when we're doing something new, it falls on my shoulders until I can leverage it off on a new person within the team. So 𝗙𝗲's been able to do a lot of reaching out directly to my sphere. We've had a number of client events in the latter part of this year. Now that the pandemic's kind of not rolling to a stop, but things are opening up. So we spent about 18 months not being able to actually reach out to our clients on a face-to-face level. We recently had a gathering. We invited 700 people, 750 past clients. 𝗙𝗲 reached out to everybody, either spoke with them directly or left a message. And that enabled us to give one of our 4 touches. She also sends out text messaging and things along those lines for us as well. Now we're doing another client event that is here in November, coming up in November, and she's repeating the process. So we do have people who tell me, "Hey, that girl from your team, she reached out to me and she was really nice." So I appreciate the feedback from clients, and then I do have people in my sphere who just don't understand why I have somebody and not me calling, and that's okay. But at least they're remembering that it's me, my team, and that we're in real estate.
Just getting your name out there, right? Of course.
Staying in front of people.
Now, what you already mentioned the challenge earlier, getting used to working with each other for the past, I believe, as you mentioned, 3 months. But what other challenges have you had working with Cyberbacker?
I really don't know that there's a lot of other challenges. Well, I guess one of the biggest challenges for me personally is just my time. I would like to be able to, in my role, dedicate more time to doing the one-on-one interaction that I have with 𝗙𝗲. So it ebbs and it flows dependent upon what's going on in my schedule with my, the transactions that I'm dealing with, or other parts of my business that are either growing or things outside of the business that are, there's family things that happen too. I've got two young daughters. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. So they keep me pretty busy too, outside of all this. But as far as Cyberbacker as a company, I think that they've been wonderful to work with and very attentive if there's an issue. We have a pretty big goal for this year. We're planning on closing 100 transactions for the first time this year. And so that was a big step up for us, particularly challenging because of the kind of shakeup we had at the beginning of the year with team members. But we've been able to roll past that. We're very close to our goal, and then we've got a big celebration planned at the end of the year for that particular event when we get that last person closed for the year.
Of course, there's still 2 months, so still have time, of course, to get over that goal. Now, I have one last question for you, Paige. There are a lot of business owners listening to us right now. What advice would you be able to give them when they're hiring their own cyberbacker?
First, trust the process. CyberBacker does a great job on helping guide us towards the person that might suit our team best. So we interviewed, I think it was 7 or 8 people, if I remember correctly. It was a little while ago, so excuse me if I got that number wrong. But in the end, 𝗙𝗲 came in. She had worked with another Keller Williams team prior to working with us. Like I said in the beginning, there's a transition basically because it's an unfamiliar process. I've never worked with somebody who works through the night and sleeps during the day, as it is because you're half a world away.
Yes,
but it's worked out to be a great exchange. She's provided a lot of leverage and a lot of help for me to be able to grow parts of this business. So
that's good to hear. Now, I know that 𝗙𝗲 is listening to us right now. Would you want to give her a quick shout out on the show?
𝗙𝗲 is amazing. She knows she's my girl. She does a great job, and I really appreciate her every day.
We are very
so much so that
course.
she's tied into our goal for the end of the year. I don't know if they told you that, but if and when, not if, when we hit our 100, it's our plan to fly 𝗙𝗲 over to the United States for our celebration.
Wow, that's awesome news. Of course, she must be very excited. And again, as we mentioned, when you hit that deal, not if.
When I hit that goal.
We are very excited to see where the partnership between you, 𝗙𝗲, and CyberBacker would be in the next few years to come. Paige, thank you very much for being on the show today. Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how CyberBacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.